One of the big stories of the day, day 100 of the WGA strike, an event that one member of the WGA negotiation committee called a, quote, milestone of shame for the AMPTP.
With more from the picket lines, we're joined once again by entertainment attorney and freelance journalist Jonathan Handel. That means that we've been seeing you for 100 days, right? Because you've been with us since the very beginning. Where do negotiations stand now? I mean, on Friday, they had the big to-do of let's talk about talking. What happened?
Well, you couldn't have had a, first of all, it's not a happy anniversary, obviously. You couldn't have had a worse setup if you spread ground glass on the bed sheets. The president of the AMPTP, Carol Lombardini, reportedly did not want to reach out to the Guild and have those talks. Meanwhile, the Guild, the day before the talks, sent a message to members saying, let's not be too enthusiastic. It'll probably be the same old tired anti-labor playbook. So both sides were just at loggerheads. And in fact, the issues have gotten tougher in some ways. The Writers Guild now wants some additional contributions to the pension and health plan, and they want the right for individual members to observe other, to behave with other members' unions' picket lines and not cross those lines. That's not a right that either the Directors Guild or SAG-AFTRA have, although the IATSE crew union, some of the locals do have that right.
So the bottom line of let's talk about talking is they agreed to not talk?
They agreed to not talk about not talking.
Okay. So you just mentioned health care, though, because that seems to be at the center of some of this, both for the writers and for the actors. Let's start with the writers, then do the actors. What do they want specifically when it comes to health care? Well,
the way the health care and also the pension plans are funded is that the employers make contributions to those plans that are based on the wages that the workers get. It's percentage of the wages, a percentage of residuals is an additional contribution. The writers want additional funding for that. The actors, certain of the parameters related to that funding, certain caps and limits on how much the studios have to contribute, haven't been adjusted in 43 years, so they want an inflationary adjustment. This is, you know, in the U.S., because our benefit plans, public benefit plans, are as rocky and threadbare as they are, one of the important things that unions bring to members are health insurance and ultimately pension and retirement.
As a follow-up to that, we know that to get health care in SAG-AFTRA, you need to make $26,000 a year, which something like, what, 82% of the members don't?
That's right.
Is that going to be adjusted at all for this period? Because there's a period now of all this time where people can't work because of the union. Is the threshold going to be any lower?
Well, probably not. The pension and health plans by federal law are governed by a board that's 50-50 labor and management. So you would need the agreement of the management trustees, the management board members, for a plan to make an adjustment of that sort. And I haven't heard of any discussion of that.
All right, let's talk about the pay disparity between the studio executives and those who work for them. That's been a big issue, right? So I know we have some pretty startling numbers to put up on the screen. So David Zaslav from Warner Brothers, he makes 227 times more than the average person who works for him. Bob Chapek from Disney, I mean, you
Bob Iger now?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we got that.
Yeah.
Bob Iger. Yeah, there's Chapek. That was formerly, right?
Yeah.
It was Iger, then Chapek, now Iger. And then we heard from Laura, of course, that he put out a statement today saying he's personally committed. Well, how committed is he, given the pay disparity?
You know, the pay disparities in this country, 40 years ago, the average across all industries was that the boss made something like 20 or 40 times what the typical worker did. Now that number is more like 400 times across all industries in this country. The level of inequality has just grown and grown and grown, and the numbers that you cite here in our industry in particular are, you know, equally as large. And it rubs people the wrong way. When you look at the package that the studios have offered, even if you accept their valuation of that package at $1 billion, that comes out to 30 million per company per year, which is less than most of the CEOs actually make. So, you know, when we ask why are these strikes going on for so long, I mean, labor's not blind to this, number one. And number two, this is the first dual strike since 1960. This is the pinnacle of the power that each of these unions have. They're not going to be like, well, let's over-compromise now and we'll have another strike in 3 years. Not going to happen. So they are really just bound and determined to you know, change some of the, you know, they who has the gold makes the rules, and try to flip that equation.
From a raw politics perspective, that number that we just showed is something that people can understand.
That's right.
The average person gets that. They may not get all the weeds of the health care benefits, but they understand this guy's making hundreds of times more than the worker, and that's part of why they're out there. All right,
That's right.
Jonathan, great to see you.